Hello, everyone. I know I haven't done a video in a while, but I've been on fire today, you guys. It's been lit. I've already done 3 readings, and it's only 10:55 a.m. I started at 8. I have so much energy. And then I thought I got the nudge to jump on and do an energy update for all of you. So I see that there's about 222 people in the house. We're going to give it a few more minutes because I just announced on Instagram that I was going to be hopping on to YouTube. And so in the meantime, yes, I love my plant. So I actually bought this plant at the 99-cent store 7 years ago. And she's my baby. Her name's Olivia. And I always put my forehead on her leaf. And we have an exchange of love. And that's really all I have in my apartment right now, to be honest. There's nothing here. But I wanted to jump on today and drop in with you guys and do an amazing, epic energy update regardless. And sometimes it's good to take a break from your work and from meditation because you start to feel excited and inspired again. It's almost like that fire within you builds and builds and builds. And you're like, oh, I miss what I'm doing, but I also love where I am. And I know that when I get back to it, it's going to be incredible. And I've even noticed that not meditating as much the last few days, it's almost like the seasoning has sunken in. It's sunk into my system. And I'm finding that I'm speaking very clearly and articulately. And so it's really good for us to take a break sometimes because I think we process so much data all the time, whether that be in meditation, because when you meditate, you're processing light data, right? They're cosmic frequencies, they're light codes. And then also if you listen to YouTube, you're processing information all the time. And sometimes we have to take a back seat and just say, okay, I'm going to let all of the seasoning get absorbed into my system, and I'm going to assimilate. And I find that when you come back to it, you're very clear. You've allowed yourself to the necessary time to process and digest the information. Yes, you made a live show. So we have 534 people in the house. That's pretty good. But for now, just tell me where you're from. Where are you guys from? Salem, ooh. Hawaii, Ireland, Poland. Oh wow, I think I just got bombarded with all of these different locations. Oklahoma, Germany, Denmark, Sweden. Wow, a lot of people are in the house today. Scotland, England, oh my God. Whoa. Stockholm, Indiana, Croatia, Utah, Istanbul, Turkey, Lebanon, Thailand, wow. Everyone in the world is here. St. Petersburg, Argentina, Cyprus, Spain. Yeah, I missed you guys too. I've been MIA for a little bit. I've been missing in ascension. I've been missing in ascension, not missing in action, because it was time to shake things up a little bit. My snow globe needed to be shaken up. So, yeah, missing in ascension. I like that. Australia's in the house. Good. All right, so I'm worldwide. Thank you, Kim. I received that. Uruguay, Puerto Rico, Canada, Connecticut, Toronto, Egypt is in the house. I love you, Egypt. That's where my family lives. My cousins and uncles and aunts and my nephews and my nieces, they all live in Egypt. Philippines, Egypt. Okay. All right. So, it's time for an energy report, you guys. I haven't done one in a while. And I feel like there's a lot going on in the collective right now, especially around transition, being moved out of your comfort zone. I was getting a vision earlier on a call that we're almost like the juice in a box, in a juice box, and we're being squeezed out of our box of comfort, of our comfort zone, and we're being moved into something new. And of course, that can be a little daunting to the human mind, to the third dimensional aspect, because it's foreign to you. It's like being in uncharted territory for you. It might have been charted by someone else, but it's never been charted by you and for you. And so a lot of people are wrestling with very dramatic shifts in their life that include moving, like me, I've just moved, that include leaving relationships, that include traveling or doing things that you're not used to doing, that you're not accustomed to doing, that your universe is actually pushing you to doing now. So your universe is kind of squeezing you. It's essentially squeezing you out of your juice box right now and saying, okay, you are a creator being. And before you came into this reality, your original self, your higher self, who you were pre-birth, pre-designed this reality in such a way where when it was time for you to move, we would move you for you. So that's what's happening. It's like you hang out somewhere for like 5 years, 4 years. It might be a relationship. It might be a job. And then your higher self and your guides and your angelic team go, it's time. We need to squeeze you out because you were the one that pre-designed it this way. You were the one that formatted your reality to eject you out of a situation, just like a cassette player or a CD. We're ejecting you out of the situation that you're currently in, and we're going to move you out of it so that you can discover and uncover parts about yourself that you've been disconnected from or that you wanted to get reacquainted with. Parts of yourself that you haven't gotten to know yet. And the only way that we can do that for you is if we shake up your world and then you start to feel imbalanced and then you find comfort in the fact that this reality is always going to have an ebb and a flow. Your reality is always going to shift you. It's always going to move you. It's always going to take you to another destination. It's always going to relocate you. Okay? And that's what's happening with a lot of people right now. They're being energetically displaced and physically displaced. So this can definitely give rise to a lot of emotions that are needing your attention, to old traumas, to fears around being in unfamiliar territory. But I just want you to know that you're always provided for, and that right now we're being asked to move into the divine feminine and remember that our universe is magical. And if we just lean into it, if we just lean into the change, if we just submit to our universe, then it will do the entire job for you. It's like your mover right now, right? No pun intended, but it's your universe is like a moving truck. It's like a U-Haul. And it's saying, hey, just get in the passenger seat. And we understand that this is going to be a little tumultuous or it might be a little bumpy along the way, but just lean into it and then you're going to mitigate the intensity because you're trusting us. You're trusting your team, which is you and all of your aspects and all of your guides and all of these non-physical beings that are assisting you in your growth, right? I know for me, I'm someone that I never want to move. I'm like very happy because I know my purpose on this planet. I know the function that I serve. My function is I just want a place to sleep. I just want to feel safe, and then I can serve humanity. I don't really get too caught up in materiality and all of these things. I have nice things. I like expensive things, but I don't depend on those things because I died to my flesh a long time ago. So I don't really care about that stuff. I just want to be in a secure environment where I can then lose myself in spirit, where I can dabble and dive deep into esoteria, into phenomena, into mysticism, and assist humanity through that, right? And I know that that's my mission here. And I know that that's my mission because I've done everything else. I've done the being in the rat race and trying to climb your way to the top of the mountain and competing with other people. I've done that. That's so boring. I've done the whole, oh, I'm afraid of money. Let me unlock my abundance treasure chest. And I did that. That was easy. It wasn't easy, but looking back, it's like, yeah, who cares? I know what my function is on this planet. My function is to serve. And, you know, when you're a mystic, when you're someone who dives deep into the spirit realm and you astral project and you project your consciousness into other dimensional realities, it's difficult to do that if you're always distracted by outer circumstances, by social engagements, and by all these expectations that are placed on you. So I feel like a true mystic will usually set up their life in such a way where they're like almost like encapsulated by a bubble or encircled by a bubble, and then they can dive deep inwardly. We live for the inward quest. We live for the internal journeying. So, all right, let me get into this. I haven't even begun, you guys. Okay. So we have 925 people. Let's get into it. So, and I wrote a few notes because I just did a reading. And before I did my reading, I asked my guides, send me all the information that pertains to the collective, because I knew that I would be doing an energy update. And you guys, I got so many downloads during this reading, and it was only a 30-minute reading. And thank you so much for the donations, Becca and Laura and Eternal Love Light. I see you. You're always so supportive. I appreciate you. Thank you, everyone, for your donations. Yeah, and a few people asked me, oh, I look younger. Thank you. Yeah, if you don't donate here, that's okay. Some people like to donate after, and you could do that on my website, and I'll attach a link below. All right, so the first message that came through for you guys was, when you say that you want this or you want that, like, I don't understand why I haven't found love, or I still don't know what my purpose is. When you say that you want this or you want that, you're still not accepting what you have and don't have yet, right? So there's still a resistant energy in the fold, in the mix. And when you state things like, I want that, and when is this going to happen, and why is this happening to me, and what's going to happen to me, it means that you're not fully and entirely accepting where you are now. We have to get to a place where we accept what is here and what isn't here. That's deep. You have to accept what's here and what isn't here. And I apologize if my light is like shifting a little bit. It's because there's like sunlight. You have to accept what is here and what isn't here. Both. Because if you say, when am I going to meet the love of my life, or what's going to happen next, or what is my mission, it means that there's an aspect of yourself that isn't accepting what isn't here. And the key to being enlightened, the key to being illuminated, is fully coming to terms with where the universe has you right now. And it doesn't mean you have to love it, right? It just means you have to accept it. I'm not asking you to be a phony or to be artificial or disingenuous and say, I love where I am. If you don't love where you are, that is a valid choice. You don't have to love where you are. I'm not asking you to love where you are. I'm saying accept where you are. Accept where you are, knowing very well that that's going to be shifting for you in the imminent future, okay, in the near future. So you don't have to love it, you just have to accept it. And as long as you say things like, I don't understand when this is going to happen, or when do you see this happening, there's still a portion of you that isn't accepting what isn't here. You have to accept what isn't here, and you also have to accept what is here. And that ties directly into receiving, and we'll get into that in a moment. But right now I'm going to talk about acceptance, because this energy update is going to encapsulate acceptance, and it's also going to encapsulate receptiveness. Acceptance and receptiveness. This is what this entire energy update is about. All right, so take a nice deep breath. I accept what is here and what isn't here. And you can repeat that in your mind. I accept what is here and I accept what isn't here. I accept all of it, and I'm here for all of it. I'm not going to overlook anything. I'm not going to try to deny anything. I'm not going to try to ignore anything. I accept what is here and I accept what isn't here. Yes, we have 1,000 people in the house. I think this is the first time we have 1,000, so I'm really grateful right now. I'm filled with gratitude. It's so tacky, but I love it. I'm filled with gratitude. I feel so fulfilled right now. So I accept what is here, what isn't here. And again, it's not about being inauthentic. It's about being very real with yourself. I don't like where I am, but I'm going to accept where I am. And that really alchemizes the energy, right? We are here to be alchemists of our reality. We are here to turn the lead into gold. We are here to take a negative and turn it into a positive. But the thing is, we don't want to overlook or deny the negative. We want to accept the negative. So if you look at someone who's been molested, or if you look at someone who's been poor, I don't like that I've been molested. I don't have to like that I've been molested. I was violated. I don't have to like that I was poor. All right? I don't ever have to like that I was poor, but I accept that I was poor. And I accept that that was a part of my divine blueprint. And if it wasn't a part of my divine blueprint, it is now, because I didn't have control over what happened. These were things that happened to me, and I accept that. Because in some grander scheme or in some larger picture of reality, my universe allowed it to happen. And so from that vantage point, I accept that it happened, because as long as I resist that it happened, I'm actually going to cut myself off from my own light. I'm going to deprive myself of my own divinity. And I am divinity incarnate. I am divinity incarnate. Ooh, pins and needles. I am divinity incarnate. I am divinity incarnate. Okay? Do you feel that? Feel the resonance in that. I am divinity incarnate. And there is nothing that I cannot overcome. There is nothing that is insurmountable, because I am divinity, and what's happened to me physically does not define me. It does not define me. I don't like that it happened to me, but I accept that it happened to me. I don't like it, and I don't have to like it. Saying that you have to like it is being inauthentic. And one of the worst things you can do on this path is being disingenuous with how you feel, because then there's an incongruence. You have to feel everything that you're feeling. You have to. Okay? If you don't feel what you're feeling, you're bypassing. And as a human, you have a free will, and you have a right to not like something. You have a right to not like tattoos. I don't like tattoos on myself. I love them on other people. I don't have to like them on myself to appreciate them on someone else. I don't have to like certain foods. It doesn't mean that I'm judging the food. It's just not for me. I'm not judging my own experience. I just don't like that it happened. Okay? Good. So the other thing I wanted to share is that when you give yourself that permission slip to feel what you're feeling, when you give yourself the permission slip to feel what you're feeling, your universe is going to recognize that, and it's going to start to take you away from the frequencies that are undesired, and it's going to relocate you to the frequencies that you want to be in. So I'm going to repeat that. When you feel what you're feeling completely, you are sending a signal to the universe that you don't like where you are, but that you accept it. And the universe is going to scoop you up, and it's going to start to take you away from the frequency that's undesired, that's unwanted, and it's going to move you into the frequency that you want to be in. And all of this is based upon how you're feeling. It's how you're feeling. If you don't feel it, how can your universe know what to do with you? Because if you're not feeling it, you're not accepting it, and the universe isn't concerned with where you want to be or when your love is going to arrive forth into your reality. The universe doesn't care about that. The universe is focused on you accepting what is here and accepting what isn't here, and using that as the impetus for further ascension, using that as the impetus for your own progression, meaning you're compartmentalizing what you like, and you're compartmentalizing what you don't like. And through that, you're able to fine tune and come into more clarity. All right? So the key is to Accept what is here, accept what isn't here. If you say to yourself, I don't understand why I haven't met my twin flame yet, you're not accepting what isn't here. And if you're not accepting what isn't here, you're still soaking in a resistant energy. And if you're still soaking in a resistant energy, your universe isn't going to come and scoop you up and drop you off to your other location because it needs you to accept where you are first. Once you accept what isn't here, then your universe is going to say, oh, let's find you love, because you've accepted what isn't here, which means that you're not attached to the outcome of what you want. Which means that you're now starting to connect into the feeling of accepting any circumstance that happens to you. Whether that be that your twin flame leaves you in the future, whether it be that you lose a job of your dream in the future, we already know that you're going to accept it and you're not going to cling on to it. Okay? Now, the other thing that I wanted to share with you all is that when you feel into all of these emotions, you know how like on a Google map, there's like a blip, you search for a location and then you find it and it shows up as a blip in your map? What you want to become is the blip on your map. And when you feel into your emotions, you're increasing your visibility in the universe. You're increasing your visibility. You're doing the work. You're proactively partaking in your own ascension process. Proactively. You're saying, I'm going to feel this because obviously if it's here, it's meant to be felt. Obviously, if it's here, it's meant to be acknowledged. Obviously, if it's here, it's meant to be tended to. And then what happens is you start to increase your detectability and your visibility on the map of reality. And now your soulmate is telepathically, or that dream job or whatever it is that you're trying to bring into materiality is going to see you on the map and is going to be able to track you. Okay? So if you don't feel what you're feeling, you're not going to increase your visibility. So let's just imagine for a minute that you're wanting to be loved. You're wanting to be attracting someone who's affectionate, someone who is chivalrous, someone who's going to treat you like a queen or a king. You don't necessarily have to focus on the physical aspect or the tangible aspect. You just have to connect to the emotion of what that would feel like. What would it feel like if someone picked me up for a date right now and treated me like a queen? And then you feel into that, you sink into that emotion. And as you do this, you're enhancing and augmenting the visibility in your universe, and then that person is able to detect you subconsciously. They may not be able to detect you consciously, but they may leave their house because they're gravitating to your energy and they don't know what they're gravitating to, but there's obviously something that's pulling them out of their house. And I wholeheartely believe that there's a match for everyone. If you're someone who likes to be, who has a sexual fantasy, there's a perfect match who shares that perfect match of a person that shares that exact fantasy. You wouldn't have to shift it. You wouldn't have to alter it. There's a perfect match for you. But society tells us, oh, there's something wrong with that. There's something wrong with having a sexual fantasy. So settle for someone other than that. And we fall into those traps. There is someone out there for you who is turned on by what turns you on. There's someone out there for you that is turned on by what turns you on, and vice versa. Okay? So you never have to shortchange yourself. You never have to settle for less, ever, ever. Okay. All right. This is something else that's coming in. If you've ever had money issues, it means you're meant to be abundant. If you've ever had love issues, like you've gone through a divorce or a separation, or you were discontent within a relationship and you just felt like you had to leave, If you've had love issues, it means that you're meant to have a greater love. So you don't have money issues to then have love. You don't have love issues to then have money. You have money issues because you're meant to be abundant. You have love issues because you're meant to have love. Are you guys feeling me right now? So if you are single and you may not wrap your head around why you're single, but you've been in a relationship before and you know that there's another love out there for you, that means that your universe was readying you for that real love. You just have to remind yourself of this. You have to reinforce this within yourself. This was my training ground to measure up in frequency, to amount to a higher frequency, to get rid and deprogram all these beliefs that tell me I'm not going to find love. Okay? To deprogram myself, to get rid of all that malware in my operating system, because I'm divinity incarnate and there's nothing that I cannot attract because that's who I am. I'm divinity in this body. And the only thing that's cutting me off from my divinity, the only thing that's separating me from my divinity is all these programs that I've believed to be true that are actually falsifying my reality. All these programs that have kept me from my own divinity. That's the only thing standing between you and everything that you're wanting to manifest. You have to reframe your mind. You have to alter your belief systems. You have to shift your perception. That's all you have to do. So instead of going to the negative, to the glass half empty and saying, I don't get why I'm still single, say, oh, I'm receiving a thought that's negative. I'm receiving a thought that's discouraging. Would my own divine self, would God, would source ever discourage me? No, so that's false. So instead, I'm going to now utilize this energy and I'm going to alchemize it as the alchemist that I am. And I'm going to turn this energy into this beautiful flower. I'm going to turn the lead into the gold. And I'm going to redirect my energy to the higher thought, which the higher thought is, oh, I don't have love because no one's a match to me yet. And I don't have love because I was still working with disposing of this belief system that was discouraging. And as I dispose of this belief system that's discouraging, I'm now leveling up, or I'm now moving or vibrating myself into a higher dimensional frequency where all of these discouraging thoughts don't exist. They're not compatible to me. They're not congruent to who I know myself to be. And now I'm going to become visible as the blip on the Google map. And now that right match is going to find me. Or that dream job is going to find me. Or my purpose is going to reveal itself to me. That's the idea. So your universe is going to come. It's going to take you away from the undesired frequency and move you into the frequency that you want to dwell in. Can you see how you need your emotions to act as the intermediary, or to act as the magic carpet in Aladdin to take you from one location to the next? That's in essence what is happening. You're using your emotions to create this magical carpet that's going to take you from one destination to the next destination. Okay? So as long as you are unaccepting of where you are still resisting your own divinity, and you are divinity incarnate, so that doesn't make sense. It's contradictory. I'll repeat that. As long as you are resisting where you are or unaccepting of where you are still pushing away or renouncing your own divinity, and that's contradictory because you are divinity incarnate. So that doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. It's two energies, and you're creating a war within yourself. You're waging a war against yourself. And I see someone saying only positivity. Yes, only positivity, but you want to embrace the negativity. Not only positivity, because only positivity discounts negativity. The negativity is there for a reason. The negativity is there for you to acknowledge that you don't like where you are, but that you're going to accept where you are, because that's what's happening. It's going to get you to integrate emotions of fear, integrate emotions of shame, integrate emotions of guilt, integrate emotions of blame. And by acknowledging the negativity, you are alchemizing it into positivity. But then it's not even positivity, because you see that they're one and the same, that the light is the dark and the dark is the light. And it's just a matter of perception. It's a matter of altering how you view reality. So it's not only positivity, because only positivity would denote that you're still discounting negativity. We don't want to discount anyone. We don't want to turn away anyone. We are all here together. We're helping each other. They're both, a coin has two sides, right? Both of those sides of the coin are here because we are the coin, and we need both sides to remember that we are the coin. Do you see? You need both sides to recall your divinity. It's not only positivity. It's not, I only want to talk about things that are comfortable. It's, I want to talk about things that are uncomfortable so that we can bring resolution to it. So that we can be here for all of it, like I said earlier. Okay? I don't like people who are like, oh, I'm not going to talk about it, it's uncomfortable. Well, I'm not interested in a shallow relationship with you. Let's talk about it. Let's get messy a little bit. Let's clear things for the entire collective. Let's shine our light on these things. It's not going to bite us. It's not going to hurt us. It's not going to sting us. It's what we've been denying, and it's depleted of light. And that's why we perceive it to be dark. It's because we haven't been feeding it the love that it requires. We haven't been nourishing it with love. And so we perceive it to be dark because we're still rejecting our own light. We're rejecting that which is an aspect of ourselves. We don't want to take away from anything. We want to be here for all of it. Okay? Because we're all in this together. And I was having this thought the other day where, from the perspective that we're all part of one universal mind, we all have cancer. Because cancer exists. I may not have cancer, but I'm so grateful to the person who's going through that and healing themselves, because they're healing it for me. Because from the perspective of we are all one, we all have cancer. It's just that you might have created some sort of a immune system or an immunity to it, or maybe that's not part of your assignment, and you have a different assignment that you've come in with, but we all have cancer from that perspective, right? And you might be dealing with something that I'm not supposed to deal with because I'm dealing with something that you're not supposed to deal with. You get it? We all have different pieces of the jigsaw puzzle. So no one is spared from this stuff. We're all here. Why do you think the Dalai Lama came back? The Dalai Lama came back because if there's one person who's left behind, none of us ascend. Because the darkness has to ascend too. You get it, you guys? This is not about leaving anything or anyone or any aspect behind. This is about moving up as a collective. And yes, some people will deal with abuse, and I might not deal with that, even though I have, and other people will deal with something else, but we're all on our own assignment, and that assignment is contributing to the whole of the collective. Everything we do is for the sake of humanity. It's for the sake of vibrating this entire density into a new density, from the third density to the fourth density. Cool. Let me look at my notes and see if there's anything else. All right. So there is one more thing. I want to touch on receiving for a little bit. We're being asked to receive right now. And I'll give you very practical examples so that you can digest the information. You know when you go out for sushi with someone or you go out for a meal with someone and they're eating really fast and you start to feel weird in your body? That doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means that you're connecting to love. You're connecting to grace. And if you go out for dinner with someone, it's a collective effort. You are deciding that you're going to go out with someone for dinner. And if they're eating too fast and you can feel like you're a little out of sync, that is spirit telling both of you, you guys are not in sync, like slow it down. So the spirit is announcing to you that this person is not connected to grace. It's like if I say to you, hey, do you want to go for a jog together? And I actually say, let's go for a jog together. If we go for a jog together and I start sprinting and I leave you behind, that's not very loving. So the message I got this week is love is the glue that connects all of us. Love is that invisible thread that always announces to us when we're moving alongside people or when we're moving away from people. All right. Now, there's nothing wrong with moving away from people. I'm just saying that if you're going to go out for a jog with someone, jog with them. That's the whole point. You guys are deciding to have a collective experience. If you're going out for a meal with them and you find that you're eating too fast, slow down. That is your team. That is your guidance system telling you you're not blending your energy with this person's energy right now. And we're trying to create something through both of you right now. It's a co-creative endeavor. It's a co-creative effort. And we're trying to create something magical through you guys if you guys link your fields together. We're always linking fields with other people's fields. So the message I got is we need to get back to more of that divine feminine. So the last few months, I feel like we've been in the masculine, like actively working with our psychic abilities, actively working on ourselves. And now the universe is like, let's get back to the subtlety of your internal GPS, your internal navigational system. Are you going too fast? Are you speaking out of turn? Are you interrupting people? Pay attention. Are you guys with me? Can you feel it? I'm actually transmitting the code to you right now. I don't know if you can feel it. You know when you go out and you speak too soon and someone was like, yeah, I was just about to tell you that. That's because you were too fast. You were one step ahead of them. And the universe is saying, take a step back. Follow us. Follow this collective thread of love, the glue that unifies all beings. Follow that. Thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate you. Stephanie, thank you. So I've been paying attention to myself because I've been in my masculine for so many months lately that when I'm around people, I feel like the universe is channeling through them, is almost filtering information through them to teach me how to slow down and just follow the lead, which is why my move has been really nice because I decided I'm just gonna let my universe guide me. If I see a piece of furniture I like, it's funny because initially I was gonna hire an interior decorator. And you know what my universe said to me, Phil? Decorating isn't your strong suit, but let's apply everything that you've been doing with your spirit to this. And get online, and if you see something you like, we'll let you know. And go to a store, and if you see something you like, we'll let you know. So it's about training that spiritual hearing aid. It's like a spiritual hearing aid, and you're tuning your brainwaves to the subtle realm. And that can be a lot more rewarding than just hiring someone and say, do it for me. Now, again, it's fine to hire someone, but right now we're being asked to exercise that muscle of intuitiveness. And that goes for all things. When you're around someone and you're eating too fast, slow down. Create space between you and this person and let your universe show you, let your universe direct you. And if you find that you're driving too fast, you'll be notified because you're not going to feel good in your body. You're going to feel some dissonance there, some disharmony there. Our universe is asking us to trust it as it moves us into this new location. So your masculine aspect has to move. Your masculine aspect may have to leave a relationship. Your masculine aspect may have to take action, but it doesn't mean that that action can be inspired by the divine feminine. It can't be carried by the divine feminine, by that crystal river, by that grace. It's grace. Thank you, Nico, for the $50. I appreciate you so much. And quick shout out to the channel Higher Self. I thank you so much for sharing me with your audience. Yeah. So you guys get it? You just have to slow down and take inventory. And you'll find, like, for me, I've been messing up a lot. I'm like, wow, I'm so used to being in my leadership that lately I find that my universe is showing me what needs to be seen. It's showing me the invisible, which is that, Phil, we need you to click back into the space of grace. Breathe, receive, and just allow us to carry you. And all you have to do is do the physical stuff, like pick up the boxes when we ship them, all right? Pick up your friend or pick up whatever. Like, you just have to take the action that's required by a human because spirit can't move it for you. That's all, right? So you're cooperatively working with your guides You're cooperatively working with your universe, and you're taking the instructions and you're following those instructions, but it's all divinely inspired. And you just show up and you move the pieces. That's all. You guys, it's 11:35. I still haven't put food in my system. So I'm going to let you go now, but thank you so much for showing up today. And I'm excited to see what this energy update does. And thank you so much for your donations. If you would like to donate, contribute, I will leave a link below in the captions. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And thanks to everyone who's here with me. I love you so much. And you are divinity incarnate. We are accepting what is here, but we are also accepting what isn't here. And as we do this, we release any resistance that was preventing us from seeing that divinity. We are removing the veil of forgetfulness. We are removing the veil that kept us separate from the spirit world, because we are the spirit world. I love you so much. I will speak with you in another version of the now. I see you, Turtle Flow Yoga. I love you. I love you all. Bye-bye.